If there was one good thing that happened in 2020, it was the opening of Orion, a B&M Giga coaster at Kings Island. Finally, the long-anticipated Kings Island Giga had come to fruition, and even though it wasn't as tall, fast, or long as many people had hoped, it is still a Giga coaster. So I booked my trip last August to take a flight into the stars, and trust me, I was down for anything that would take me off this planet. After 3 trips in space, I finally landed back to Earth, and now I am here to give you my full in-depth review of Orion. So come join me as I walk you through my experience on the space exploration. Hey everyone, it is Hale from Destination Thrills, and today I am here with another coaster review. Today we will be reviewing Orion at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio, the new for 2020 B&M Giga roller coaster. And boy was I hyped when I finally got an opportunity to ride this thing. The Kings Island Giga has been like this mythical ride that many of us wondered if it was ever going to happen, and here it is in 2020, and the Kings Island Giga has come to life. Now, even though this wasn't the layout that many of us were hoping for, I was still very hyped to get on the ride, and after the ride was over, I think a lot of the hype did wear off. Here's a clip in my recent vlog of my first experience. Alright, so I just did Orion for the first time. You can tell it's raining on me now. Luckily I got on it right before it started to rain. But the ride's pretty good. Now, if you want to see my full vlog and my reaction to riding Orion at night in the pouring rain, I will link that video in the card on your screen. Now, I did have a few people comment on that video that said I seemed underwhelmed for my first ride. And while I didn't have the blown away what just happened feeling, I was overall happy with my experience. And my enjoyment only increased as I got more rides. But that leads me to my question for today's review, and that is, was Orion worth the $30 million investment? Well, let's get into my thoughts on the ride to find out. Orion was built by Bollinger & Mabillard, which you may know as B&M. It is their hypercoaster model with a height of 287 feet, but a drop of 300 feet, which by definition makes it a Giga coaster. I know that's a lot of controversy, but technically it is a Giga coaster. The ride reaches a top speed of 91 miles per hour and has a track length of 5,321 feet. First off, the appearance of the ride is stunning. You can see the towering first drop from all over the park. The structure just absolutely commands your attention, plus the new Area 72 theming is fantastic. It really separates itself from the rest of the park. Also, the theming in the queue area is pretty well done. Nothing extensive, but enough to establish the sci-fi storyline of the ride. Now, all of that stuff is pretty cool during the daytime, but where this ride is most gorgeous is at night. The lighting package is stunning. There are these vivid blue lights that illuminate the trains and give it the sci-fi look as they make their way to the top. Occasionally, the blue lights would change to these flashing multicolored lights that reflect on the columns holding up the lift hill. I just really like the vibe of this coaster just illuminating the sky with all of this color. I think it gave the ride a real modern look, which was just stunning to witness. Alright, so now that we've talked about the look of the ride, let's get into the experience. One thing I love about Orion is that as you're going up the lift hill, halfway through, the chain just starts picking up speed, and I love rides that do this because you already have that butterfly nervousness as you're going up, and then you really get caught off guard by the chain just suddenly speeding up, and I think it really builds up that anticipation and that oh crap feeling that you have in your stomach as you're going for your first ride. I can only imagine people who may not be coaster fans or may not be fans of that stomach drop sensation just absolutely freaking out during that moment. To some, that might just be a minor detail, but for me, I think that adds so much to the ride. Now, as you're getting to the top, you really start to get a sense of how high up you are. I know the biggest debate is Orion not being a Giga coaster because it only has a height of 287 feet, but trust me, it doesn't really matter when you're up there because you can see for miles. The view is pretty spectacular and you feel super high up, and that takes you into the first drop, which is just so good. Now, unfortunately, I only got to ride in rows 2, 4, and 6 during my 3 rides, but it didn't matter. You get lifted out of your seat no matter which row you are in. It is a pretty fantastic first drop. I wouldn't say it has the insanity of like a Time Traveler or like a Monster at Adventureland first drop, but I would say it is up there in intensity with Raging Bull's first drop and maybe just below Outlaw Run. Now after this great first drop, the feeling of speed and G-forces come at you as you fly close to the ground, transitioning into the giant wave turn. The wave turn gives you a really cool look of being sideways and really high up, but you don't feel any forces through the element. For me, probably the weaker element of the ride when it comes to intensity. After the wave turn, you dive down and then up into the turnaround. Again, this moment had some very good speed, which I enjoyed, but it was pretty light on the forces. Personally, I would have loved this element to be flipped around so that you exit the turnaround into an airtime hill, sort of like the Hive Dive on Fury 325. But I'm an airtime junkie, so that's why I feel that way about this element. I could see people who really love speed enjoying this moment. Now after this moment, you go straight into the speed hill, my second favorite moment on the ride. Not only do you feel the speed, but you get sustained airtime throughout the element. It reminds me a lot of the airtime hill on Goliath at Six Flags Great America, which is one of my favorite moments on that ride. This was definitely one element that I was looking forward to the most, and it certainly did not disappoint. Next is the giant airtime Camelback, which might be the biggest surprise of the ride. Even with the trims on, you still get some really good floater air over this Camelback. It pretty much mirrors the sensations that you feel on Diamondback's Camelback hills. I also think it was a great follow-up to the Speed Airtime Hill, and let's just say I was very pleased with this moment and very surprised with how good the airtime was. Next is the Helix. I'm not a big positive G's fan, but I actually found this element to be fun. It is a great change of pace after the airtime hills. You don't really have a lot of speed in this area, so don't be expecting crazy positive G's like you would find on Titan at Six Flags Over Texas, but I feel as if there was enough force to make you hold on to your seat. Finally, you end with my favorite element of the ride, which is this weird banked airtime hill. I am so glad that B&M is twisting things up a bit and not just going with the straight up and down elements. This twisted airtime hill was one of the strongest airtime moments I have ever felt on a B&M coaster. It's nice when you are on the wing seats because the twisting adds more of an oomph to the negative G's. It definitely gave me some RMC vibes. Now before you go crazy with that comment, let me be clear, the airtime moments are not as strong as RMC's. However, because of the freeness of the clamshells, I feel like this airtime moment gave me more of a rush and was certainly more comfortable than the crazy RMC ejector airtime. So trust me, if you are a fan of airtime, then you will definitely enjoy this moment. And just like that, you are into the long break run. Alright, now that we've looked at the experience of Orion, let's get into my ratings of the ride. If this is your first time watching one of my reviews, I like to rate the roller coasters on 5 specific categories: intensity, fun, uniqueness, comfort, and duration. Then I will give you my final overall score with all categories being judged on a 0 to 5 scale. Alright, so let's kick it off with intensity. Orion certainly has some strong moments in the first drop, speed hill, and final curved airtime hill. Another factor that helps with intensity is the feeling of speed, especially in the first half. With that said, I wouldn't say that Orion gives you that out of control sensation, so I think a fair score would be a 3.5 out of 5 for intensity. Alright, let's discuss fun now. Like I said plenty of times, I really enjoyed Orion. It has a great theme, cool lighting package, and it has the height. I also love that Orion gives you a little taste of everything. The ride has no repetitive elements, each moment has its own separate experience, which makes it tough to get bored. I think obviously adding a few more elements at the end, or even maybe adding a tunnel somewhere in there, would have bumped up my fun ranking higher, but I think Orion deserves a 4 out of 5 for fun. Next, let's talk about uniqueness. There are plenty of B&M hypers and even a couple Gigas in North America, so I can't really say the ride is very unique. However, I think the style of Orion shows that B&M is trying to add a bit more flavor to their layouts. We see this with the wave turn and the final airtime hill, and I truly feel like Orion is unique compared to other B&Ms I've ridden, so for that, I will give it a 3 out of 5 for uniqueness. Moving on to comfort, as I always say, the clamshell restraints are amazing. So freeing, so comfortable, plus with it being a steel coaster, you don't have that ricketiness that you do feel on wooden coasters. I will say I noticed on my first ride on Orion that there was a vibration throughout the ride. It was tolerable, but definitely not preferred. The other 2 rides you could still feel the vibration, but it seemed more subtle. Now, I don't think this is bad enough to ruin the experience, and I've read some comments saying that they didn't even feel it at all, so I think a fair score would be a 4 out of 5 for comfort on Orion. Alright, now let's talk about duration. This is probably the one part on Orion that there is more to be desired. I think with what B&M and Kings Island were working with, they did a fantastic job, but the ride felt like it needed one or two more elements to really complete the experience. With that said, I certainly wouldn't say the ride is short, I just don't think it competes with other roller coasters out there of its style, and that is why I'm going to give it a middle ground rating of 2.5. Finally, let's go to my overall score. Even though many of my ratings weren't super high, I just really like Orion. It might not be the most intense coaster, it might not be the longest or the most unique, but I think it really has a solid variety of elements and sensations, and it has a fantastic look to it. This is one of those rides I could marathon and just relax and enjoy my time, and I felt like throughout my trip, the more I rode Orion, the more I fell in love with it. So that is why I'm going to give Orion a 4 out of 5 rating overall. So now it is time to answer the question, was Orion worth the $30 million investment? Although this was probably the most unfortunate time to open up a huge attraction, I think Orion will serve Kings Island well in the long run. It certainly has already boosted Kings Island's coaster lineup. For example, before I would have said that Six Flags Great America had a better roller coaster lineup, but with Orion, I think Kings Island firmly wins that battle. I also think it has garnered so much attention, even more attention than Iron Gwazi, which was supposed to be one of the most anticipated coasters this year until the parks had to shut down. Although some people will hate on this ride because it won't beat the stats of Fury 325, I think it is a fantastic fit for Kings Island. Now, if you are planning on riding Orion soon, I just want to give you a few tips for riding the ride based on my experience. First, manage your expectations. Don't come in expecting wild and crazy. This ride has intensity, but nothing insane like the Voyage or Steel Vengeance. Second, if you have the chance, ride Orion at night. The darkness really enhances the experience, plus the lift hill lights look so cool as you're climbing to the top. It's certainly something that you have to see in person. My final tip is that the ride gets more intense as you head towards the back of the train. I know this is pretty typical of most roller coasters, but I felt like the airtime in row 6 was better compared to my first ride in row 4 and my night ride in row 2. Okay, before I wrap up, I just want to give a huge shout out to the ride ops at Kings Island. They absolutely killed it the 2 days I was there. It seemed very consistent that a train would be heading up the lift hill as another train was coming into the brake run. I rarely saw the train stack, and it was very impressive, so again, kudos to the Orion team at Kings Island. Alright, so this was my full in-depth review of Orion at Kings Island. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on Orion, and if you haven't ridden Orion yet, let me know which parts you look forward to the most. Now, if you like these reviews, I have plenty more on my channel. I will link the playlist in the description below, along with my last roller coaster review, Monster at Adventureland, in the card above. Also, be sure to subscribe to Destination Thrills, as we're the destination for all the latest theme park news, reviews, and content. Thank you so much for watching my review of Orion at Kings Island. I'm Cullah Hale. Stay safe and have a good one.